Hi, I'm Gene Trowbridge of Trowbridge. We're securities lawyers, and I'm here to talk to you about my book, the fifth edition of my book that in the category of the crowdfunding and syndication was a bestseller at Amazon. And I'm going to give you an opportunity at the end of this to grab yourself a copy of it. But my book is really a series of chapters designed to address specific questions. And we're talking about chapter 3 right now. And the question is, what do you need to know about tenant in common interests? That's the question I was trying to address when I wrote this chapter. And it's all brought together by the fact that what we really have to worry about is IRS tax deferred exchanges. When people have money coming out of a piece of real estate that they own and they'd like to invest it in another piece of real estate, probably bigger, we have to follow the rules. And the simple rule is you have equity in a piece of real estate referenced by your deed. And now you're going to trade it into another piece of real estate where you're going to get equity referenced through your deed. So you have to go deed to deed. Well, the question we get is someone is raising $5 million for an offering, and they call me and say, we have an investor who has $1 million in equity in a piece of property. He would like to exchange into our LLC. And can we do that? And of course, the answer is yes, but you won't get 1031 benefits because you're going from a deed in real estate to a share in a partnership. So it's not deed to deed, so it doesn't qualify, and therefore you lose your 1031. So the solution on that is for that investor to become a tenant in common, deeded, fractional deed owner in the new property, not in the partnership. So actually, if it was just one person who was doing that, you'd have this person, let's say, is bringing in 25% of the money as a tenant in common, and then the LLC, with all the other investors raising their money, is raising 75% of the money. So there's two deeds of the property. It goes on, and it is operated under what's called a tenant in common relationship. Very, very popular, and that's a relatively new chapter in the book because so many people who bought properties 8, 9, 10 years ago have quite a bit of equity in their property. And instead of selling and paying their taxes, they'd like to take advantage of 1031. And then, of course, there are many offerings out there where the syndicator would love to take advantage of that money that's available to buy the properties. I think my most complicated one, we had six tenants in common who are all LLCs with bunches of investors, and the LLC owned a deed in a property. 6 LLCs, 6 different properties, and here comes I think it was a $65 million offering apartment complex, and all these offerings were controlled by one manager, one fund, and so the manager wanted to bring all of them into the tenants in common and buy the new property. And we were able to do that and protect everyone's 1031 benefits. So I'm Gene Trowbridge of Trowbridge. We're securities lawyers. And go to my website, see the information here, and you'll have a way to, 2 ways, I guess, to get a hold of a copy of my book, which should be good for you, and I'll see you the next time.
Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, give it a like and leave a comment with your questions. We read them, and they often become future videos. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And head to book.tnllp.com to grab a free copy of Gene's best-selling book on securities and crowdfunding. It's a whole new business.